TG Geeks, episode 237, September 2nd, 2019. A vampire, a zombie, and a werewolf walk into a meeting. Walk into a meeting. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the Two Gay Geeks, talk about all aspects of geekdom and nerdery. Sci-fi, comics, film, horror, genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane and we're coming to you from the mobile TG Squared Studios in lovely Phoenix, Arizona at the Doubletree Hotel at CoKoCon 2019.
Oh, you got it in one breath. And I'm Ben Raggington, and I'm sleep deprived.
Oh, my God.
God, are we tired.
It's just too much to do at this con. Oh, my gosh. And we'll talk about that later. Let's get on with the show.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, the Two Gay Geeks are discussing this.
Boy, I stepped all over that, didn't I?
That's the second week in a row that's happened.
I know. I just pressed the button too soon. Anyway, we've got an interview with Riley and,
Riley and Angela.
Angela. I kept wanting to say Amanda. That's not right. Riley and Angela. And they're going to talk about their progress on their Patreon film that they are making. It's called Pactless Patrons.
And it has something to do with that voice that you heard just a few moments ago.
Yeah, Tim Calloway did our Meanwhile in the Hall of
Episodes.
Whatever.
Trying to do his Ted Knight imitation.
Yes. So that we'll talk about that. We've got our birthday shout-outs, our featured podcast of the week, and we have Facebook
feedback.
Facebook, yeah. Mostly Facebook
some
feedback.
of it, but not all of it.
Not all of it. And we have a new shout-out that we're going to do for a friend of ours, and when we get there, we'll talk about that. And then also we have our second segment. We're going to talk about CoKoCon. There is so much to talk about. Hopefully we'll have enough time to talk about it. Have our weekly recap of what we've run on the site this week, and then our regular shout-outs. So let's get started with this show. And we welcome to the show this time Riley and Angela. They are the co-showrunners of Pactless Patron, a new web series that's just getting ready to be worked on. Actually, tell us more about this. Well, actually, let's start this. What we normally
Welcome
do.
to the show.
Welcome to the show. Yeah. I'm so confused sometimes. I forget. I get so excited about introducing people and finding out what they're talking about that I forget to say, tell us who you are and how did you get into this, and then we'll talk about your project. So who wants to go first, Riley or Angela?
Angela, do you want to take it first?
Sure. I'm used to being higher up in alphabetical order.
There you go.
So my name's Angela McCain. I'm a writer, an audio drama producer, and a creator on a network called nerdsmith.org. That's where I got my start doing all this crazy creation stuff. I'm not the creator, the original creator of the concept of Pactless Patrons, but we do like to say that I kicked Riley in the pants to do something a little bigger with it than he had originally thought to.
Yes.
So I helped grow the project into the size it is today.
Cool.
That's entirely correct. And I'm Riley, and I'm just basically some dude on Twitter who wrote a random thread that a lot of people liked, And
That's
then
interesting.
everybody was like, hey, this is really funny. You should do something with it. And then I was like, oh, I guess I should do something with it. And so now we're doing something with it.
So very eloquent, perfect, Riley.
That was perfect. Actually, that sounds really fascinating. When I read the little synopsis that you sent, I thought a Twitter thread, and that was what generated this. It's like, I never thought of that before. So tell us what was this Twitter thread about? Tell it.
So what it was there was this meme going around the Dungeons and Dragons community where you would write out the phrase, my warlock patron is, and then @ and whoever the third suggestion was for the warlock patron, you would put them there. And that was your quote-unquote Twitter warlock patron. And so I had a couple thousand followers at this point, and a couple other people did as well, and none of us were really getting added, but we would add other people, and it was just sort of like, we're not getting any warlock followers from this. That's kind of strange. And so a friend named Ari posted about that explicitly, and then I made a joke, and I was like, all of us who haven't been tagged should get together and form some sort of support group. And I was like, I should write a Twitter thread about that. So I wrote the thread about literal warlock patrons who don't have any followers for various reasons, and it got oodles of likes and retweets, and a lot of people were really engaged. There's like 200 likes per each of the posts, even very far down.
Wow.
And yeah.
Why doesn't that happen to us?
Because we're not that creative.
We're just us. We're simple, boring us.
Cue the sad violin.
Yeah.
How far back should we give context for that? So should we explain a little bit what warlock patrons are? Does that make sense? Or
yeah, I was kind of wondering that. I thought, well,
okay. Well,
you want to explain?
Sure. So as Riley said, the idea went around the Dungeons and Dragons Twitter community, which is very very energetic community of people that like to post a lot of jokes and inside things. But the idea is one of the types of characters, one of the character classes you can play in Dungeons and Dragons is called a warlock. And that type of magic user gets their magical abilities by making some sort of deal, some sort of pact with a greater being, whether it's an angel or a devil or some sort of fairy creature, something that is really much more powerful than the warlock, and they agree to some sort of deal in exchange for getting magic power. So that could be like, I sell my soul, or you can have my firstborn child, or I'll just do your bidding in exchange for having the power to do that.
Yeah, take my wife, please.
Thank you, Henny Youngman.
So the idea of these higher beings having their purpose be so tied into having a mortal sign over their soul or something in order to bestow them power was sort of the premise of this conversation that Riley wrote. It was basically like a scripted dialogue between the members of this support group. So they're like, hi, my name is Olgroth the Unfettered.
Hi, Olgroth the Unfettered.
And they're just talking about why they don't think anyone wants to sell their soul to them, and you know how lonely they feel not being able to just bestow eldritch power on someone. And so it's that grain of self-reflection and trying to better yourself to make yourself, you know, an easier fit to make a connection with another person, but it's under this veneer of absurd, macabre monsters trying to better themselves to make connections with people.
Wow,
Monstrous
that's
therapy.
That's fascinating. We have a column that a friend of ours here in Phoenix. We're located in Phoenix, but he writes or is an artist, and he does a Dr. Zombie cartoon. And Dr. Zombie is a monster family physician. So monster families go to him as their physician. So it's always something weird every week. And so it's kind of, it sounds like the same, in the same vein, that bizarre out there. And yes,
in other words, it's suited just perfectly for us.
We do know what Dungeons and Dragons are.
Yes, we are that old.
And I share this every time somebody brings up D&D, is that I remember, and I had the original 3 books.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
In fact, I had Chainmail, which Gary Gygax wrote prior to that. I was told, you have to get Chainmail before you get the other 3 books. So I am that old, yes.
That's wild.
Well, what's so nice is that, I mean, D&D's always been around. There's always been fans of it and lots of players of it. There's been this really fascinating popular surging of, especially with the newest edition, 5th, that there's just people who had never touched role-playing games have discovered this hobby in a way that is just it's really kind of been a shot in the arm for the tabletop community in general. It, like I said, it's not that there weren't a ton of people playing before. It's just gotten so much more visibility lately. People are starting to bring different facets of fandom and different facets of their skills and hobbies into this space, into this like fantasy role play space. Which has been really amazing, and it's part of the reason why we have the team that we have for this project. Is we had a ton of people who love joking about monsters and talking about fantasy stuff, and some of them are animators and some of them are voice actors, some of them are musicians or audio engineers, and we happen to be able to collect a group of people that were all really passionate about exploring that space, but could all bring something different to the team.
That's fascinating. It's interesting to see how that is still around, and I guess that Stranger Things has probably helped tremendously in reviving I won't say reviving, but making D&D infinitely more popular today than it could have been.
Accessible, maybe.
Yeah, I would also say give it a greater sense of visibility. I think a lot.
You don't just hear about it; you're watching someone play it.
Exactly.
And you kind of have an understanding of what it looks like to play that
right.
game.
And you're right. You're right. I think Dungeons and Dragons never truly went away, but I think it sort of got lost in the noise of just general geekdom. And to have it, and to have a show like Stranger Things kind of simplify, all things 80s and bring back this thing that was. I think really helped galvanize the nerd community. It's nice to see how it's being affected today, especially for us old fogies who remember playing it way back then, while we were in high school.
In the 70s.
In the 70s.
Yes.
Well, Riley, you had looked at the age range of our team, right?
Yeah, so here's an interesting and fascinating thing. We have members of our team who just turned 20.
Wow!
And we have our dear friend Tim, who we know you through, who is in his upper 50s.
Yes.
And that is the age range of our production. Of the 24 people we have early 20s people, we have mid 30s people, we have some people in their 40s, and then it's just been a real interesting mix. And we have this private Discord room that we all talk in, and it's been really healthy and happy, and a place where everybody who's come into it has sort of been like, wow, we're really happy to be here and be part of this like passionate project that everybody's putting so much effort to. It's been really encouraging for me in a lot of ways.
That's cool.
It just shows that geekdom knows no age boundaries.
Exactly.
Well, and even from the fact that, and we just had this discussion today, that we have people coming into the team that even though this project is heavily D&D inspired, we have people coming in that either didn't know what D&D was or had never touched it before.
Wow.
That just the project itself was what attracted them, the premise of the project, without that connection. So we have this really wonderful range of experiences with the inspiring subject matter. And it's, like Riley said, I had not expected us to have such a nice little community built up so quickly, just from people that supported us on Kickstarter and Patreon. Just people popping in and suddenly all getting along and having fun, whether it's passionate conversations about the actual material. So as we're making the show, they can see little sneak previews of what we're building. Or just our off-topic area where people are, waxing on about movie spoilers and all sorts of stuff.
Ooh, my kind of people.
Lovely.
My kind of people. But this brings up something. We've talked about the Twitter thread that was going on, how that all started, but we haven't spoken about the project itself. Now, at what point was it decided? Maybe we should be doing something a bit more with this.
When Angela came on board. So. Yeah. So here's an interesting thing. The whole series of this being the project that it now is, it started with the Twitter thread, and then I looked into commissioning artists for making this into a webcomic. It was originally going to just be a webcomic. And then Angela, who 4 months ago I did not know from a hole in the wall.
Oh, wow.
randomly comes a complete stranger, and now a really good friend of mine. Came into my DMs and was like, "Hey, I have experience in audio dramas. I would love to adapt your thing for just like an audio play." And I was like, "Wait, we've got Angela now who has voice acting stuff, and we've got these animators that I've now paid commissioned work to. Why don't we just smush them both together and have ourselves a big happy?" So, yeah, Angela coming on board was the lighting of the flame proper.
And what has been the evolution process in terms of time frame, and how long ago did you decide upon to do this? And you mentioned the Kickstarter program, which as of this time is wrapping up. But when did that all start coming together?
So this was mid-May. I want to say May 16th is the first DM that I have from you, Angela. And so,
well, sure, you can get that specific. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's fair. So it's been the first month, May to June, was us sort of going, okay, what are we going to do with this? And then June to July, we were like, we're going to make it a Kickstarter, and we're going to do these, and these. So we figured out our budget then. We brought more people on. We began sending out a casting call, which got over 300 people to audition for it.
Wow.
And then we casted for the production. And
in a week. We casted within a week.
We casted in a week, which was so many hours of listening to the same lines.
If I was to say there was a regret, it might have been just how much sleep I lost going through all those auditions.
Yeah.
But I don't regret who we ended up with. We did end up with a stellar cast of people.
We found diamonds. There's so many wonderfully talented people out there. And so then July was really finalizing the look of the Kickstarter, the art for it, the introduction video, and then August it was like, all right, it's go time. Toss it up.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at the there's still a few of the
bids,
things that are still available. Some of the what do they call them? Oh shoot!
The backer tiers.
Yeah, the tiers.
Yes.
And the what is it called? I lost my mind here.
Pledges.
Yeah. Anyway,
there's the stretch goals.
Perks. That's what I was thinking of. That's the word. It always comes to me, and maybe 3 days late, but
as long as you're not waking up in the middle of the night screaming the word out.
Perk.
And then go back to sleep while I'm wide awake.
Yeah. No, there's still a few of the perks left. That's really great, and there's
that was an interesting challenge to try to figure out. I mean, one of the, besides just being invested in the project, one of the biggest hurdles is trying to figure out how to incentivize people to actually back your project, because the existence of the project is one factor, but very often it's become commonplace that you are offering up awards for different tiers of you are essentially treating your audience like investors.
Right.
So so figure out what those sort of offerings are. So we did a lot of consulting with the team, what we could manage to put together. We realized the more you offer physical things, the higher your budget turns into.
Exactly.
Shipping is the bane of anyone's existence. So we were trying to come up with things that we could offer that were within our wheelhouse, even things that we were going to do anyway. So we have anything from little in-character ringtone.
Uh-oh.
You could get... we're going to put together an art book with all of the cool the character designs and concept art. We're going to do like high def or high res versions of those. And then we do have one of our team members is a glass etcher. Yes. And so the one big physical item we are doing are these glass goblets that are going to have the logo etched into them.
Cool.
So
yeah, we're super excited about those. Those look really fun.
yeah.
So this is supposed to be a web series, and tell us more about what is the design of it, and how are you going to release them, and all of that kind of neat stuff.
So I think Angela put it best at one point when she said, "This is sort of the feel of it, the feel of it, and the look of the art is sort of Parks and Recreations meets Beetlejuice."
Oh my!
In terms of like,
it is very much a workplace comedy. The idea of it being sort of very mundane, very relatable situations, but it just happens to be a conversation with all these otherworldly beings, all these monsters and supernatural creatures. So our goal, at least our base goal for the campaign, is to get a one season, which we already have completely scripted out. One season of 6 episodes. They're going to be about 5 to 7 minutes each. We wanted things that would allow us to have like a couple of really punchy jokes in those episodes.
yes.
And one, we also didn't want to kill our animators by asking them to do a ton. We only currently have 2 animators on our team, Susanna and Alex, and they are incredible. But we did try to set some realistic expectations and realistic goals for what the actual final product would be.
Yeah. So
animation's expensive.
Yeah, animation is expensive
and time consuming.
And we didn't want to overwork them. And they're, all of us, this is a quote-unquote amateur production, but we're all very passionate. We all have a lot of talent, but we also don't want to... We understand that in the course of production, there might be hiccups, and we want to sort of afford and account for that. So we've been very cautious in producing our estimates. Each episode is going to be 5 minutes long. We're shooting to have season 1 out early in 2020, sort of quarter 1, maybe January, February. But again, the reason we don't have hard dates on it right now is because we are a first-time group of people who are publishing this new unknown IP property, that we will encounter things, and that might push things forward or push things back. So we're just being open and flexible to allowing sort of that drift in the production process.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the whole nature of independent production. I mean, we've dealt with a lot of independent creators in the past, and we understand that there's a lot of give and take, especially for the first time around. So that's totally understandable, but nonetheless, terribly exciting. I think this is really grand, and I would recommend that anybody who's listening to this. I mean, when does this Kickstarter campaign or this Patreon campaign, when does it end?
It's going to end on Thursday, September 5th.
All right. So people, get your pledges in.
Yep, get them in while you still can.
Exactly.
We have, like I said, our base goal is to produce 1 season. We have it all scripted out. We have the whole thing. It is basically an adaptation of Riley's original dialogue that he wrote on Twitter. So it is a day in the life of the support group, what they talk about, and meeting a new member of the support group and getting the vibe for how the group meshes with each other, or doesn't mesh, as the case may be.
In some cases.
And we have stretch goals built into our campaign that if we're able to hit beyond our pledge goal, we have other stories we want to tell in this universe with these characters. We have up to 5 or 6 seasons planned.
6 seasons total. Yeah,
6 seasons total. I hesitated to include our Muppet Babies inspired alternate universe season.
Yeah,
but yeah, we have some really fun stories that we want to tell about. Despite the fact that, and we've talked about it a little bit, despite the fact that this is it is ostensibly a comedy, we do want to use that comedy to talk about a few things that really mattered to us. Yes. And because we're dealing in a support group being the premise, it could be really easy to just turn that into a big joke that could then turn into a joke about therapy. And that's not quite the direction we wanted to take it. We wanted to take the therapy seriously.
Yes.
So a lot of what you're doing is the actual therapy or the actual, introspection that's being done is sincere. It's just absurd because it's a lich talking about his relationship hang-ups rather than just a person talking about their relationship hang-ups.
Yeah, the comedy doesn't come from making fun of therapy. It's from the fact that everybody needs therapy, and some therapeutic needs are very different than other people's.
Even sentient swords have to talk to somebody. I mean,
yes, even sentient swords.
Wow. Well, with all of that, I mean, I wish we could talk to you some more, but I'll just leave it with this. Where can people learn more about what you are working on? I mean, is there any social media presence? I mean, you mentioned a Patreon, so how can people learn more about Pactless Patrons, and where can they follow you on any social media if they wish to see the progress?
And if they want to...
and if they want to pledge.
Pledge, yes.
Make that pledge. All of those links are on www.pactlesspatrons.com. So,
yes, you can get to any of those, our Kickstarter or Patreon. We have access to all of our social media on there. You can look at the team. Yep. We have our full voice cast on there. So, yeah, you can pretty much find everything on pactlesspatrons.com.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like a really fun process, and we probably should talk to you more as the series progresses. And
absolutely.
We
are so excited about this project. However much we get to make.
Yeah.
We're so happy.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Riley and Angela, for being on the show with us this time.
Thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Jenks, you owe me a Coke.
This is Michael R. Menengay, master of model trains and aquariums. You're listening to the Two Gay Geeks.
How nice to hear the Podfather.
Menengay. Since he's retired from podcasting and he's not really doing anything but model trains and aquariums.
Yeah. It's always refreshing to hear his voice.
Yeah. We have a few selected birthdays for September 2nd through September the 8th. And on September 2nd, we have Keanu Reeves and Krista McAuliffe. She was the...
She was the school teacher.
The school teacher, yes. That we lost in the Challenger... Was it Challenger?
Challenger, yeah.
Challenger accident. And we have Lili Ukulani.
Oh, I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't.
She was the last sovereign monarch of the Kingdom of Hawaii until 1893 when they were conquered, shall we say.
Oh.
And she was also the composer of Aloha.
Was she?
Yes,
oh,
she was.
Splendid.
Yeah. And a friend of ours, Scott Tyler, who's at Dragon Con.
He's at Dragon Con, and he just met...
No, it was...
oh, no, that was somebody else.
That was Gary Lindros.
That's right, Gary Lindros. But Scott Tyler, yes, he's at Dragon Con, too. Everybody's at
Dragon Con. September 3rd, Garrett Hedlund.
Tron Legacy.
Yeah, Tron Legacy. And he's a native of Scottsdale.
No.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I thought you knew that.
No.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, did I?
Yes.
No. I had no idea.
Yes, you did.
No,
anyway.
I didn't.
But he is.
Okay, fine.
He was. I don't know where he's living now. Who knows? Anyway, also on September 3rd, Eileen Brennan.
I adore her.
She's great. And good friend Mark Biaggi, and a friend of mine who I met when she was just a young girl. A good friend of mine, Jim McGurk, who lived in Spokane, Washington when I did. His daughter, Kimberly McGurk Clintobe. And Ethan Gold, composer. He wrote the music for the song Sway Lake, as well as many other things. Yes. September 4th, Dick York.
The original Darren.
The original Darren. And Max Delbruck. Now, interesting that we should be here at CoKoCon with Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory with Professor Sparks has several set pieces from the 1931 James Whale Frankenstein, and we talked about Young Frankenstein.
We talked about Young Frankenstein, yes.
And, when he says, go get this brain from the brain depository.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Max Delbruck.
No, Hans Delbruck.
Was it Hans
Delbruck?
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Hans Delbruck, scientist and saint. The actual Hans Delbruck, who died in 1929, was an accomplished military historian whose son, Max, won a Nobel Prize for his work with viruses. So, just a kind of a derailed train of thought there.
Well, still, I mean, it shows that Gene Wilder, when he was writing this script, or maybe that was Mel Brooks's portion of it.
Yeah.
At least they decided to go for a name.
Yeah.
That if anybody had any kind of initiative to do any research, would have recognized, okay, well, there is some legitimacy to what they're trying to do here.
Exactly. September 5th, Freddie Mercury.
Oh, of course.
Oh, we lost him too soon. Although he would be like 75
He's
or
in his
something.
70s now.
Yeah, amazing. Michael Keaton, John Cage, who is a composer of very unusual music. Amy Beach, who is also a female composer, some interesting information or interesting stuff that she's written. I hear it on the Metropolitan Opera Radio every once in a while, some of her stuff. George Lazenby.
A one-time Bond.
A one-time Bond. One time, yes.
Yeah.
And Giacomo Meyerbeer, who was a famed operetta composer. He wrote for the French Opera Comique. And good friend Jason Carney, Tatiana Patton, Greg Lowe, and Amber Martinez.
I'd say happy birthday in Russian to Tatiana if I knew how, but I don't.
I know. We got to learn that.
I know. We need to learn that one.
Yeah. September 6th, Jane Curtin. Not going to say it.
Jane, you ignorant idiot.
Yes.
Can't repeat it.
Also, Roger Waters.
Pink Floyd.
Yep. Susan Martin Murph. And Kurt Watson, a friend of mine from high school. September 7th, Buddy Holly, Toby Jones, Dr. Michael DeBakey. And Dr. Michael DeBakey...
DeBakey or Bibakey?
DeBakey. It's
okay.
DeBakey. He was actually... he was always on the telethon, the Jerry Lewis telethon. He always talked about Michael DeBakey. He was a cardiac surgeon. And the first thing he invented was the roller pump that provides continuous blood supply to cardiac patients. So cardiac surgery would be impossible without that invention. So it's kind of interesting that he showed up this week. Also, Dario Argento,
a protege of Mario Bava.
Exactly.
I love Argento's films.
Yeah.
They're so awesome.
And James Van Allen.
He discovered the Van Allen belt.
Really?
I'm guessing.
Yeah. September 8th, Gaten Matarazzo, who was, he's, what's his name in...
I have no idea where you're going with this. The kid.
The kid, yeah. What is
the kid who could sing?
Yeah. Martin Freeman, Patsy Cline, who can sing, too.
Yes, she could.
And Antonin Dvorak.
And he could compose.
He could compose. Actually, his music, he borrowed a lot from the Czech folk songs, folk tunes, and incorporated those into his compositions. So that's it for the birthdays this time.
You're tuned in to Krypton Radio. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.
Go give a listen to our friends, all of our friends over at Krypton Radio. You can hear us at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. They have lots of regular shows that play 12 hours difference. They play at, say, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., yada, yada, yada.
And when they're not playing shows, they're playing music.
They're playing music.
Lots
it's a
of music.
24-hour geeky internet radio station. So go check them out at kryptonradio.com.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counsellors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
Are we done?
It's done.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so moving on, we have.
This is the feedback section. Sorry.
This is the
Should I
feedback
play the
section.
music again since I didn't say this was feedback coming up?
No,
Okay.
please don't. Don't need that. Anyway, this is the feedback.
Like it.
It drives me mad. So, anyway, yes, this is the feedback section. So, got quite a few things that we have for today. So, starting off, this is regarding Andrea Von Scoix. She joins TG Geeks as a contributor. This is a press release that Keith ran for us on our website. And we got a comment from Andrea herself. She says, I'm so beyond proud to be a member of this awesome family.
Yay. We are glad to have you.
Yes. Now, this next one, this is regarding Andy's Antics. This is her column.
Yes.
This is Andrea's column. Regarding Andy's Antics, a misanthrope's guide to the zombie apocalypse. We got a comment from Hamish Down. He says, a misanthrope's guide to the zombie apocalypse. It was a fun read. And then Andrea, she responded with, thanks, I enjoyed writing it. Then we got, this is regarding Andrea's Angle.
That's a
this is a
different Andrea.
This is Andrea Richoff. She writes movie reviews for us. So this is Andrew's Angle, and this is regarding scary stories to tell in the dark. She says it's all about the stories. We got a comment from the director.
Yes.
Andrea Ovredal. He writes, great, thank you, enjoyed it. And Andrea responded with a comment, thank you for telling an awesome story. But that was so
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah,
and
he personally
responded to her
on
review.
Facebook. Yeah.
I was thrilled.
That's pretty cool.
And this is in regards to TG Geeks episode 234, and we interviewed Miguel Rodriguez of Horrible Imaginings Film Festival. And as always, we always have a great time whenever we get to chat with him. And we got a comment from, well, on Facebook, it was the Horrible Imaginings Film Festival page, but essentially it's Miguel.
It's Miguel.
And the Film Festival page writes, what a lovely time as always. Thanks so much for everything.
We always try to help.
Yes, and we got a comment from a friend of ours. He follows us on Twitter. His name is John Smith. And he did leave a nice little comment following episode 234 on Twitter, at least a 234 post on Twitter. And he says, I've been busy and haven't had the time to listen regularly, but you guys do a great job. You speak well and are knowledgeable and have passion. I appreciate being introduced to you. And
that's cool. Thank
we
you.
have Katie Edwards to thank for that, because
cool.
he follows Katie Edwards, and I think that's how he learned about us.
That's
Yeah, thought it kind of
makes
nice.
me a little verklempt.
I know. Well touched. In all special places. And now, regarding Andrea's Angle, the movie Where'd You Go, Bernadette? We got a comment from Hamish Downey. He says, the trailer looks interesting. Box Office Mojo is expected to come in number 10 domestically. I hope it has strong word of mouth. I feel like this film would have done better if the Oprah Winfrey Show was still on the air and done a big interview with the cast and crew. Good luck to them. I hope that it comes to Japan soon. Well, maybe it's in Japan by now.
You never know.
Never know. And now this is regarding Ben's gay breakdown, the book Paranormal Shifter, Male-to-Male Navy SEAL, Where the Paranormal, Military, and Relationships Collide. Yes, that's a very lengthy title. Got a comment from the author, Noah Harris. He says, thanks again for the awesome review. Well,
Who is that?
The author.
Who?
Noah Harris.
Ah, him.
Him.
Yay.
Yes, nice guy.
Yeah.
He's very much present on social media. And he's extremely nice, and he's very enthusiastic with all the positive reviews that he gets. And now, speaking of positive reviews, this is just a general feedback that we got.
Okay.
It's not tied to...
Where was this from?
I think we got this... Maybe did we get this on the website, or did you get this in an email?
I don't know.
We may have gotten it through Facebook, but it was a general message that came to you, and then you sent it off to me. But it was not tied to any article, not tied to any website.
Okay.
Or any article. I mean, it was or art. No, no episode, no article, nothing. This guy just sent.
Yeah, right. I remember.
His name is David Lewin, and he writes, "Just a quick shout out of support. Love your podcast. Listen to it on Krypton Radio. Went to like you on Facebook, and I see your pictures. I got to tell you, you got your ages all wrong. I'm a 65-year-old gay white male listening to you guys. I'm thinking you're like 30-something. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. It works for you." And that's our feedback for today. And David, thank you. We love you the most today.
Oh, the moisturizer is working.
Yes.
Hooray. I have this thing about crow's feet. I don't want crow's feet. So I massage my temples really good every day.
That means we have to go back to the origin store for more product.
No,
Anything
to Keels.
No, that's right. Yes, Keels now. Yes, because Keels is cheaper.
Yeah. Well,
ding. Where's that sponsor bell now when we need
ding.
it?
If you want to leave a comment on anything that we publish, whether it's our articles, whether it is a podcast, whether it's anything on Twitter, on Facebook, on tggeeks.com, on Instagram, wherever you find us, you can leave a comment. We would appreciate it. We love to have people comment on our stuff, and we also have a listener feedback line.
It's getting moldy.
It is, because nobody's used it. Oh my gosh. 469 TG Geeks. That is 469-844-3357. And when you call in, you can leave a voicemail and we'll play that on air. And anytime that you leave any comments or criticism or anything,
any kind of comment, please play nice.
Well, we don't have it. This is not a next time thing. We're going to do a shout out to a friend of ours, Ayman Saman, who has a new channel on Facebook that he's doing little videos.
We should point out we interviewed Ayman Saman in conjunction to the film that he was showing at. Oh my God! A Cannes Film Festival. The film was Jumper.
Yep.
And
we interviewed him and
Rasha
Muhammad, and they are both Egyptian, and they're Arabic, so they speak Arabic.
But who knew that Ayman had a sense of humor?
Yeah, this is really fascinating.
I mean, because he was pretty serious on the interview.
Yeah.
Like, wow, the guy's a nut.
But he sent me this email, and he had originally asked me on Facebook to like the page, obviously, as you do. And he sent me this email, and he said, as an Arab-American voiceover artist, I wanted to connect my culture of birth to my culture of choice. Arabic Dictionary is my attempt at making the Arabic language accessible to English-speaking audiences in a fun and jovial way. A foreigner is no longer foreign once you understand their language.
Quite true.
So here's a little thing about a specific word in Arabic.
Welcome to Arabic Dictionary. Today's word is habibi. Habibi. One of the most versatile Arabic words. The literal meaning of habibi is my lover or my love. In colloquial Arabic, it's used to mean baby, darling, buddy, friend, dude, sweetie, yo, bro, and many others depending on the context. Do I look fat in these jeans, habibi? Yes, habibi. Let me put my glasses on, habibi. Hey, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Tell us in the comments if there are words you'd like us to feature next. Today's Arabic Dictionary word is available on t-shirts, mugs, and other cool products that you can buy for yourself or your loved ones. Click the link in our bio or in the description below.
If you are in transition or have already transitioned and are in crisis, or you know of someone in crisis, there is a special hotline just for you. The hotline is provided by translifeline.org and staffed by specially trained counselors who are transgender themselves. The hotline in the U.S. is 877-565-8860. In Canada, it is 877-330-6366. Or you can go to the translifeline.org for more information about the important work they are doing. Please reach out for help.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Maybe I should use one of the new sounds that I bought.
Oh, God.
For our second segment.
Maybe.
This one's getting old.
Well, I mean, you can put it in temporary retirement. I mean, don't ditch it.
Well, would you rather have this one?
Oh, God. What do you do
where
now?
are we? Where we go?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay.
There's nothing operatic or classical about any of this.
Okay. Or this one.
Oh, Jesus God. It's not yet the holidays.
Oh, that's our holiday. That's Christmas.
It's the Labor Day holiday, but not the winter holiday. Somehow, that just does not fit in with the Labor Day theme. I think.
Well, we wish it was cool. Although it might be after this haboob that just came through.
Yeah, we just had a hoop that came blowing through, so who knows? Maybe it's only 60 degrees outside. Who am I kidding? Anyway.
Our second segment, CoKoCon.
CoKoCon.
Yay. Oh, wow.
Yay, wow. Oh, I'm tired.
It has been 3 days full so far.
Well, 2.5. Because it really didn't. No, actually, you're right. Three for us because the first half of the first day was us moving all of our stuff in.
Exactly. So yeah, we've done a lot of things. There were a number of panels we did on Friday night, and
including a film festival, which was tons of fun.
Oh, incredible! You can see that on.
I got a review for that.
Yeah, he's got a review of those. What was it? 5 films?
It was 6. I think
6 films. Yeah, one was like 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was ridiculously short.
It was fun.
But it was perfect.
It was great. It was just right in the middle, and it was fun.
It is exactly what it needed to be.
And we've seen Professor Sparks.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
That was amazing and loud.
He had,
That equipment was loud.
Yeah. Check out the CoKoCon cast episode 3. There's a couple of short videos of Professor Sparks doing his
equipment.
thing. And the interesting thing about Professor Sparks is that he has some of the set pieces, the electrical set pieces from the 1931 James Whale Frankenstein film,
which got used again in Bride of Frankenstein. Showed up in Young Frankenstein, and it turns out, I mean, little bits here and there were showing up, sporadically through a whole smattering of sci-fi and fantasy films through the decades. So the fact that he was able to put it all together and then do an amazing demonstration last night was great fun.
Yep, and we've done a couple of interviews, and we've seen Madame Askew. Oh my God. The torrid tales of tea, the heated history.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was great. It was a lot of fun.
It was a great deal of fun. We're hoping that we can get Madame Askew in an interview.
Yeah. And
because the woman is a delight.
We've talked to a ton of people, just kind of doing the networking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bought some more books, like we need something else to read.
Oh, right.
I mean, oh my gosh.
I know. My queue is pathetic.
To be read pile is as big as the house is.
I know. The reading queue is really sad right now. Yep. It's just so huge.
And just everything, and just the visiting with people, and we've missed a couple of panels because we were sitting visiting with people, and it's like, oh my God, it's half hour into that panel. Well, I don't think we can go now.
No, can't make it into that, I'm sure, because that would be rude.
Yeah.
But still, we had a great time thus far. I mean,
and we still have a day to go.
We still have a day to go.
Actually, as of this recording, yes, we still have a day to go.
Yeah, as of this recording, we still have a day. Although I must admit, I will be very happy to be home.
Yes, I have to see the kitties.
I miss the cats. But yes, it has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun and made some good contacts and talked to people and seen some really neat stuff in the dealer's room. It's just kind of a nice little even though I'm exhausted, a little staycation,
Right.
away from the house, away from the world, away from everything.
Yeah, and should point out that one of the interviews we did is on our website. We do want to give that a special push.
Alexander James Adams, storyteller and songwriter. And as I put it in the little thing on Facebook, that he discovered wholeness through music. He tells the story of discovering wholeness through his music.
It's his journey, and it's an amazing story.
Absolutely,
and
you should listen to it.
Oh, please! You can find that on the website. It's not going out on the podcast circuit as our regular episodes do. So you have to go to tggeeks.com, or you can listen to it on our YouTube channel, and we do have the links for it in our social media places.
Yeah, and you can go to the article and find the YouTube, because it's an unlisted thing on YouTube. So if you know what to look for, if you do Alexander James Adams interview at CoKoCon 2019, if you put that search in, it should come up.
It should pop up.
But you can get the direct link off of tggeeks.com in the article.
But I do recommend everybody listen to it.
Yep. And as everybody knows, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether it's filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or others, as we have done this weekend. Please buy their stuff. If you go to a con, please have cash for them. Unfortunately, we ran out of cash, and so we had to use plastic occasionally, but they don't really need those fees, so please support them and buy their stuff, talk to people about their stuff, buy their stuff.
Buy their stuff.
Yeah. Please support independent creators. Joshua Tree Feeding Program. The Joshua Tree Feeding Program is a 501c3 nonprofit food pantry for HIV/AIDS community of Maricopa and Pinal counties. JTFP is a social and supportive and welcoming place for persons living with HIV and AIDS. They offer a safe and comforting environment for sharing empathetic conversation, receiving relevant health and nutritional guidance, and they offer a place where they can select a wide assortment of nutritional foods to take home. And they set it up as a store so the clients can pick what they want, just like a grocery store.
It really looks like a little mini grocery store. It's amazing.
So that the clients don't waste any food. They don't have to worry about what the heck am I going to do with this can of yams, or whatever. They can choose what they want. If they want to choose a can of yams, they can have a can of yams. But they're not going to get a can of yams just because they have too many. So it's really a great thing. And in 2010, they started a pet assistance project.
Yay!
When they found out a lot of the clients were using the meats that they were picking up to feed their animals. So if they have dogs and cats, every other week they get a free dog food or cat food bag so that they can feed their fur babies. And they give the clients information and resources for low-cost neutering as well as vet care. And they offer once-a-month hygiene products to their clients. They have little overhead because everybody is a volunteer at JTFP. So please consider supporting Joshua Tree either through a single gift or a monthly recurring gift. You can go to jtfp.org. The Grand Canyon Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence are holding their third annual Red Dress Ball on November 16th at the Parsons Center for Health and Wellness. Proceeds go to Joshua Tree Feeding Program in AIDS Walk, Arizona, sponsored by Aunt Rita's Foundation.
And now I've got some things to run through, and I got to do this fast because
weekly review. We're running out of time.
We are really running low on time. So, starting with Sunday, August 25th, Dr. Zombie Monster Family Physician number 63. On Monday, the 26th, TG Geeks episode number 236. On Tuesday, the 27th, this is a press release. Global Digital Releasing sets date for release of dark comedy Groupers, as well as Arizona Public Service supports equality for all Arizonans. Yay! On Wednesday, the 28th, Andrea's Angle. This is sort of an art film called Aquarella. She calls it a work of art. And then on Thursday the 29th, Andrea's Angle, Brittany runs a marathon. She calls it inspirational and honest. On Friday the 30th, News Sushi number 77, Morsels of News.
77.
I know, Morsels of News from Japan and beyond. Also, there is the TG Geeks CoKoCon Cast 2019, episode number 1. On Saturday the 31st, Ben's Breakdown, CoKoCon 2019, Apocalypse Later Roadshow. That is the film festival we were just talking about a little bit ago, as well as the TG Geeks CoKoCon Cast 2019, episode 2. We have all those links in the show notes for this episode at tggeeks.com.
Yep. Please visit and comment. Oh, I have a sound.
Yes, you do.
Sorry.
Some special shout-outs we need to give for republishing our content, mainly The Human Arkle. Brian Weber, he has the Arkle Times Post-Dispatch News, and you can find it by finding him on Twitter, and you do that by searching Arkle, at ARKLE. And he is also on YouTube with The Shameless Cash Grab. Season 3? Has he wrapped up Season 3? I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
So, Brian, let us know. But you can find it and, past seasons by just going to youtube.com/Arkle Studios. Also, I must shout out to some Facebook groups for allowing us to post our episodes and relevant articles on their pages. First, Two Gay Geeks After Hours. We have to thank their moderators because when I approached them and said, can we share our stuff on your page, please? They came back with a big, robust share away. And we do. Their URL is facebook.com/group/Gay Geeks After Hours. And then to The Gay Geek for also allowing us to share our stuff. And their URL is facebook.com/group/The Gay Geek. That's all one word. And we must give special thanks to their moderator, Jeremiah Reeves, for giving his blessings for allowing us to do it all there.
Yes, thank you, Jeremiah. And lastly, we are found on Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, as well as where other fine podcasts can be found. Also, check us out on Krypton Radio, 3 a.m., 3 p.m. 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays, and listen to their other content. As I talked about earlier, they're a 24-hour geeky internet radio station. Please rate us and review us on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for the webcast episode. We're going to have links on the page of things that we talked about. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. From TG Squared Studios, I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please be kind always. Peace.
Cheers.